Welcome to Other Levels. In today's video, you will continue to learn how to create this impressive sales performance metrics using Microsoft Excel without VBA. We have clarified in the first video tutorial the color codes used in the white theme. And these are the colors used in the dark theme. Let's start by reusing this design to find the top 5 most profitable training levels. Copy the previous pivot table. Arrange the amounts from largest to smallest. Add commas for numbers. Then hide the decimals. Add border to the group to highlight it. Simply link the text boxes to the correct cells. For save time, copy the latest formatting and paste it to the previous texts. The next analysis is to find the average time of profitable calls in each month. Add the months in the row field. Here is the column that contains the average duration of calls. Choose Summarized by Average. Then change the format of the cells to minutes and seconds. As we explained in the previous video, IFERROR formula must be added to avoid errors appearing on the dashboard. But here, when an error occurs, show 0 number because we will use this table to create a chart. The names of the months appearing in the horizontal box take a large space. Therefore, we will change the names to the months with month number, using the date value formula. Type date value, then choose the cell. Type the and symbol, double quotation 1 double quotation. And then close the brackets. Don't forget to add the IFERROR formula. The chart currently does not contain anything special. So I will highlight the longest the duration of the calls and the least duration. To extract the longest period, we use the max formula and select the range to be searched from. But I want to specify the month with the longest duration of calls only. So I will use if formula. If this cell contains the longest duration, then show it here, and if no, then keep the cell empty. Now add the formula to all cells. Now you will find that only the month of April shows the duration of calls because it is the longest. We will use this same equation to find the least duration, but instead of using the maximum formula, we will use the minimum by typing min. Drag right to add the least duration and longest duration to the chart. Change the color of the longest to a bright red color. And the least to green. Hide empty values using a white rectangle. Add a title for the horizontal box. Now you want to show the key value from this part of the analysis, which is the average calls over all months. And also at the bottom we will show the lowest and the highest. The formulas are easy. Type equal, average, then select the range. Type equal, max, then select the range. Type equal, min, then select the range. Next one. Total sales by sales team. With the highlight for the name of the first team and their total sales. Add the team's names in row field. And total paid fees in the value field. To show the bar chart in Creative Design, we will remove the vertical ox which is showing the sales team's names. And I prefer to show them above each bar. To create this, we need to add the total sales one more time. And then from the data label options we will check on category name and uncheck the values. Remove the bar color and the border color as well. Perfect. Let's add a little space between the names and the bar. To add the name of the highest team and the number of sales, we need the same pivot table as the previous one. And arrange the values from largest to smallest. It is better to reflect the results of the cells into cells outside the pivot table. Add an icon indicating that this team is the winner or the best team. Next analysis is the same as the previous one, but use the consultants' names instead of the sales team. Insert column chart. Flip the data label vertically, so they don't overlap each other. We have now come to one of the best analyses in this dashboard: paid fees by advertising channels. As you can see, here are the names of advertising channels. So we will add it in the row field. Follow next steps to create the chart in a beautiful design. First, connect each cell contains channels names to a cell outside the pivot table. As we used, add the IFERROR formula. Now relocate the cells to be in one row. Let's copy the formatting and apply it to the row to be as table title. Here we will add the amounts, which we will use the VLOOKUP formula to find it. Write VLOOKUP, select the channel name to search for, comma, then select the range, then press F4 to freeze the range when applies to the rest. Comma, then type 2 where the amounts are in the second column, type 0. Now we will add the maximum amount in the next row. Let's give it a name. Then we will minus the maximum value from the current value. Type minus, then paste the previous formula. You can also minus directly from the cell above. Now the chart data table is almost ready. As you can see that when the higher value is minus from the higher value, the final value will definitely equal 0. Because of this 0 value, the donut of the television advertisements chart will show in a full circle, which makes the chart design not so good. To add a space that breaks this circle, we need additional amount in order to add an empty space. For example, let's add 1 billion. See now? The chart now appears more clearly. Finally, flip the chart by going to the angel slice and changing it to 180 degrees. Change the donut hole size to 43 degrees. Set a color to each chart. As for the remaining values, set a light gray color. Now we need to show the total amounts, and then we'll add the breakdowns in below. Text boxes reflect text with its current format. So, the easiest way is to change the formatting first in the texts in the cell before starting to connect it with text boxes. We're done here, and now we'll add the average of total calls. We do not need a specific type of calls, so we will remove the filter. Now let's add the average formula. We will also add formatting to the line chart as we did before by repeatedly adding data and inserting an area chart. The following analysis is essential, as it shows the revenue of each advertising campaign according to the months, so that we can differentiate between successful and unsuccessful advertising campaigns. Advertising campaign numbers will be in the column field, and the months in row field. Add the fees in value field. We explained this number format in the first video tutorial. It remains only to show how many advertising campaigns. By inserting a pivot table containing the numbers of the advertising campaigns and then use the COUNTA formula to find the total number. Next, analysis explains training models fees by sales team. We need a filter or slicer for the sales teams. We will just copy the previous slicer design, including the arrow button. The final analysis is training models fees by consultant. Now we need to connect the monthly slicers to the pivot table that does not contain months, as you can read the value you want directly from the charts. These are the names of all the pivot tables. Let's first find the tables that contain the months and change their names so that it is easier for us to find them from the list. This is the first table. Let's change its name from the pivot tables analyzer list. Then press Enter. This is another one. And so on. Now, as you can see, the names are clear, and we can easily disconnect the connections and connect the rest. To learn more how to lock the slicers and protect the dashboard, please check video above. I hope you learned something useful today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.